Hello, it's Liz with Hitched Communication, and today I'm going to be talking about 3 easy ways that you can make your presentations more effective. Now, this is super important because it's the cornerstone of all businesses. You need clients, you need someone to actually buy your services, or if you're actually looking for funding, then you need investors. But either way, you need to convince your target audience of the value and worth of your company, product, and service. And so here are things that you can do right now, right after this presentation is over. You can go to your presentation and incorporate these tips, and it will improve already, I promise you. So jumping into tip number 1, it's to simplify. Don't overcomplicate things and use as few words as possible. And in order to see if this is done correctly, put it to the 5-year-old test, which is, can you tell this to a 5-year-old and have them understand? A lot of times I see companies trying to use too many words or really, long words or just putting too many things on a slide because they think that they need to include every single detail and they need to sound smart, and it really just confuses the audience in the end. They're not getting anywhere. So really, really be sure to simplify. Tip number 2, begin and end with your key points. This is so elementary, but so many people don't do this in their presentations, and it completely baffles me. Identify the 3 most important messages that you want to get across during your presentation and introduce them at the beginning of the presentation, and then reiterate them at the end of the presentation. They don't even necessarily need to be in the same exact words. You just have to go back to the same ideas. And then you can use those to build the presentation around those core messages, because that's really the most important takeaway that you want your audience to have after the presentation. And jumping into tip number 3, use visuals correctly. This is another one. I see people throwing in images into slides as like some sort of placeholder. They have, they're not adding any value into what the slide is actually saying. They're just kind of there. And a lot of times the visuals aren't even effective, even if they're just thrown in. So zooming into this slide number 1, I was horrified to see this slide that was actually done by a communications company based out of San Francisco. They couldn't even bother to buy this stock photo. As you can see that there's the iStock photo watermark on the image. And then all of this text on the right-hand side that it looks like it's designed to impress the viewer, but it really just means nothing. When you're reading through, it's like billion ad listings served, 3,000 bid changes per month, cloud-based infrastructure, yada, yada, yada. There's way too many details. So would you agree that this is more effective? It's an image, you see the ad listings there, and it says, in the 2 seconds it took to load the slide, we served 30 ad listings and connected a seller with a buyer. Much more simple. We're using the visuals in a much better way. We're actually showing the audience what the product does, and it's much more explanatory. So be sure to go through your presentation and make sure that your visuals are being used in the correct way and that they're not just wasting space. So go back to your presentation now, edit it for simplicity, add your 3 key points to the beginning and the end, and remove all of the extra stuff that really doesn't help out your point. And last but not least, fill in the form below if you found this helpful and want a free consultation. We'll get on the phone, we'll chat about your presentation that's coming up, or if you want a company deck or whatever your project is, and I'm sure that we can help you in some way. Thank you for watching.